RealAgriculture.com's coverage of the Southwest Ag Conference in Richtown, Ontario was brought to you by C&M Seeds, Pride Seeds, and High Stick NT. We're joined today on RealAgriculture.com by the General Manager of C&M Seeds, Archie Wilson. Welcome today, Archie.
Hi.
Archie, managing C&M Seeds, you do a lot of work with all the stakeholders kind of in the value chain, from growers through processors. What are some of the issues or concerns or things that processors say in regards to the crop of wheat?
I think, Sean, it's important for our business as we come forward to try and absolutely, like you say, bring a value chain together, bring people together from different segments, and that's where the opportunities have come. It's understanding what our customers need, and whether that be processors or even further down the chain, what a consumer might want. Certainly one thing that I see that the processors want a lot is a consistent supply of good quality product. Mm-hmm. That's oversimplifying it a bit, but they're looking for certain specs that they have. Their list of specs compared to what an average producer thinks of their grain delivery is significantly different. A very simple example is when you're delivering grain to an elevator, the elevator is likely grading on fusarium and sprouts. The end user really doesn't care about that for the most part. He cares about vomitox and he cares about falling number. Those are issues that are much different to them. He also cares about consistent protein levels, things like that allow him to make the products in the process that they're trying to do.
Right. So the first question that would come out of that, a grower would say, well, why are they not buying? Why are those two things different?
I think one of the problems we have today is the technology is trying to catch up to this difference, I think, today. There's work being done today to get fusarium quick test for vomitox and quick test, so it can be done on an elevator pit. I don't think a producer wants to wait 15-20 minutes at a delivery today. If we can get it down to it's a minute or two, we're actually working on some of that stuff on the grain side of our business today. It's the same for falling numbers. We may do those to know when we segregate our deliveries how we're going to deal with them when they go forward, but for the producer, he doesn't see that because the technology hasn't really caught up that we have that machine we can drop in and do the same as we would do their moisture or protein.
Don't you think it's a real challenge for the processor to manage, it's easy to say good quality, consistent wheat, but that's kind of defined many ways year to year, right?
Absolutely.
Good quality in 08 is different than 09, is different than 10,
absolutely,
and probably be different in 11. So how does he manage that?
I think the big thing, they try to get an idea of what that crop that's coming at them is going to look like for that given year. Typically, immediately after harvest, you're not flogging stuff immediately to the mill. It's very soon after, but there's a time for them to get a handle on what those deliveries are going to be like and what they're going to do in their process. Because you have to remember, when they drop that grain in the pit at the flour mill, as an example, they've got to run that through their system. Mm-hmm. They've got to know how they're going to adjust their equipment and how maybe the baker down the road is going to adjust his equipment with the product that's been delivered. So they have to do a bit of an assessment and buy accordingly. Typically they're looking at different ingredients combined together to make the right product.
So as a genetic supplier, how do you fit into helping this whole cog work?
I think one of the things that we try to do is not only look for agronomics, which is an extremely important part, but try to find end-use qualities that are creating functionality for an end user or consumer down the road. If we can find an opportunity that's going to create more value for them, that's probably an opportunity to have value shared back with the producer as well, and try and create a stronger value chain.
So what I'm hearing from you is not just about selecting high-yielding varieties. It's also getting high-yielding varieties that also fit into some sort of value-added program for the grower.
Absolutely, it's about creating opportunities, as I said, for all people in the value chain. You want to have a strong agronomic package. That's the base. If you don't have a strong agronomic package, it's going to be tough to get that variety planted. Right. But once it's there, what separates the opportunities is what value-added opportunities can come out of those varieties.
IP programs are something that, it's one of those things in agriculture I find that we talk about lots, right? The future is IP. It's, producing exactly what the consumer wants. Do you think we have a long ways to go, or where's kind of the next steps in IP? Canada's definitely been playing with IP across the country, but where's kind of the next steps?
I think that the opportunities for IP, I think they do exist right across the country. And I do think that it's really understanding what the consumer is going to want, and then deciding how do I as a manufacturer source ingredients that allow me to consistently deliver on that. I do think we are going to see more, not less, IP opportunities as we go forward. I do believe that. I think it's going to be tough to tell you today, here's the exact opportunity that's going to come. But I think finding functionality that makes a difference to someone else, other than right at the grower level, is where we're going to have to be focused on.
So from the processor standpoint, how important is, we talk about falling number, but how important is falling number?
It's a significant issue, I think, Sean, when you look at for a processor. They need to know, especially when we're talking products like a bread that's got to rise, and typically the concerns you might see is the functionality of that bread. Maybe you'll see more holes in the loaf of bread, something the consumer's going to say this is an inferior product. To them, I guess the biggest thing I would say there, harvest management plays a very important role in making sure we have a good falling number. It's getting that crop off the field before it deteriorates, before the interactions happen with the starch, the conversions, and I'm not the food scientist, but
right.
the amylase activity that's happening in that plant, in that seed, getting it out of the field. I was once told that nothing good happens to grain in the field once it's physiologically mature. Maybe that's 25% moisture. So the best thing after that is to get it off the field if weather's coming, for sure.
Quickly as possible.
Absolutely.